Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of you all over the world. Today, I'm very proud that I can present in a new webinar from us, our new software tool, which is called WebPQ. WebPQ, what is it? It is our new software, power quality software, but I think it's more than just the power quality software, but let me jump into this theme a little bit later. First of all, I would like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Fabian Leppich. I'm the product manager of power quality hardware as well as power quality software for the fixed installed units at Aeberle. I'm in this house since approximately 15 years right now, and me and my team are directly face to the customer as well as will support you during after sales things as well as commissioning and also service things. Who is Aeberle? Maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know. So I would like to introduce the company also a little bit. Aeberle is a German company which is located directly in Nuremberg. We have 40 years right now experience in the field of measurement and regulation technology. If my mother, if my friends are asking me, what is Aeberle doing? I'm always answering like that. We are regulating nothing more than just the German grid as well as the European grid, because most of our products are located in substations, and we are also proud that we can do that, and the stability of the whole grid here in Western Europe gives us right with our products. I think we were founded in the 80s. Right now we have 160 employees, all dedicated to our corporate mission: clarity, openness, and fairness. We have, and statistic, I think we have over 30 or 40 different nations in our company, which is, in my opinion, the right way for an international company, which we are. We are active at all voltage levels, so in production, transport, and distribution of electrical energy. Our customers are all coming from industry or from the utilities, and we are selling our products internationally into approximately 65 different countries all over the world. We also are certificated in different processes: ISO 9001 clear, ISO 27001, which is the IT security certification here in the German law, which we have to fulfill, and we are also certificated against the environmental things, so ISO 14001. We have also, for this software, which I present today, run up some innovation prizes. So Top Innovator 2024 we get for the WebPQ system solution, and due to the fact that we are still growing, we are also a top company in case of the employees. So we are at Kununu top company 2024, which helps us, and this is our main intention, that we can reach many good employees to provide solutions, high-end solutions for the industry as well as utility market. Yeah, and now I'm jumping directly into the theme, which is we also provide in the meanwhile, and we are, according to ISO 17001, we need to have a platform for the customers, which where you as our customer can inform about security issues and so on. So Software-DE is a platform for patch management, which we provide as a free cost service for you. There is no advertising, only information from the product management against the product areas. And we also deliver over these platforms the patches via two-factor authentication and different checksums. So it would be very, very nice if you have products from us, regulators, power quality monitoring systems, whatever that you register here, that you are able to run your software and your products in a secure way. What are the general challenges for software until 2030? I think it is the main intention for us that we, first of all, need to know the challenges, and afterwards we provide solutions. We have three different main parts. So we have the technical requirements, the regulations, which are clear worldwide, a little bit different, but at the end, all of the countries are going into the same way. And last but not least, and software in the future have many influences in operations and organization. Coming to the technical requirements, I think a main requirement in future would be to provide a solution which is platform independent. Cloud functionality is here the keyword. Microsoft, Linux, Android, all these operating systems we have to run up due to the fact that different political situations in future can directly reach the operation of your software. The technical requirement, I think, we think it must be a scalable and high available system. The APIs, so the interfaces to the software must be standardized, and also it must the software have to be interoperable with a third-party system. Data is the key. Our software our software is collecting a lot of high quality measurement data. We are providing then analysis functionalities in case of power quality, but for sure all these data can be set into different applications. Let me explain it in a short story. I have a customer from an TSO, so and he is using our data sets not only for power quality, but also for 5 different other applications which he can run with our data. And this is, I think, a nice to know story, and therefore we have to be interoperable and we have to have API and interface standardization. Next point is regulation and compliance. In European Union, we have now with the Cyber Resilience Act, according to the worse political situation worldwide, right now a new regulation. So Cyber Resilience Act have directly influences to all of our doings, to all of our implementations, to all of our standardizations. Also NIS 2, which is a directive for the critical infrastructure. Also this we have to have in mind in all our doing, in also the solution which we deliver. Next point is a general data protection regulation, GDPR. Yes, also here we have the solution inside the software I will show later. And next point is that we as company itself have to have different certifications. For example, ISO 17001, due to the fact that we are a delivery into the critical infrastructure, which have directly influences in all of our management processes, but also in the product itself a little bit, because what you have to fulfill in case of security, we also have to fulfill in case of security, and so it's clear that we have to keep it in mind. And yeah, in case of transparency, in case of service level agreements, in case of bugs, in case of patches, we have to have a new mindset and also a new processes that we have to deliver you all our issues, all our patches in a way that you are able, or the customers are able, to run the system in a stable way. And for you, it's clear the challenge is the complexity in software life cycle will increase. Automation of operations and maintenance, your audit requirements, your documentation is continuously rising, and last but not least, and worldwide phenomena in the meanwhile, I think, is the talent shortage. So it's clear that we don't have that much talent in case of power quality, but also in case of software, and so we have to deliver a software which runs the requirements from your regulations in our point of view. So generally, I can say there is a holistic approach required, and we hope, and yeah, we are glad, I think, that we can fulfill these points with the new software solution WebPQ in general, which is yes, an eco structure in our company, because also other software parts in our company will come from these software tooling for regulators, for example, or also other product groups. We call WebPQ is the software solution with the added value, and the added values, due to the fact of these challenges, of these new requirements, I have to say it is platform independent in case of the clients. It is structured that we have to be device independent for the future, and therefore I think we can deliver a future-proof software with a database for all permanently installed fault recorders, power quality monitoring devices, as well as in next versions also the mobile analyzers from Everle. This helps us to prevent to give you a solution which is for different voltage levels, so from high voltage over medium voltage, low voltage, and inside the application, and generic solution. Why? I came later to this point. For the permanent monitoring system, so from here, from all these devices, but also in combination, and this makes it such interesting in future for the on-site measurement, so the troubleshooting inside the depth of the grid, or also in renewable energy, so and so on. The main point here is that the structure of the software is like that we have over 65 different standardization templates low voltage, high voltage, medium voltage, or also from the application itself inside the software application, so that it is easy to run in one system the different voltage levels, and it is getting more interesting in future. I have a customer also coming from the TSO. They have issues with the DC link in Germany last year. And these DC link in Germany had influences into the applications which are located in the low voltage grid. So you can see we are running here in Europe, but also this is a worldwide thing, one of the complex machine worldwide. So the European grid is said that it is the complex machine worldwide, and we always find interferences between different voltage level. We find more and more coming influences in case of harmonics, also in other points like sorry guys, I came to this point later, and I think the solution for the future must be like that we can combine all these data sets to find the issues in a very easy and very flexible way. What are the added values, or what are the 5 main functions of the software? We have inside, for sure, an optimized analysis and reporting functionality. So inside the software, you will find different fleet analysis functionalities. You can customize your reports, and for fast fault detection, we also provide the solution here. But in the meanwhile, it is a little bit more than just analysis and reporting. In the meanwhile, you as provider from such software, you have to fulfill the IT security requirements. So we also provide an efficient device and fleet management process. So we have a device management inside these software with an hierarchical and flexible tagging mechanism. I came to this point. We have a fleet management inside, so you can send out many parameters to many devices with 1-2 clicks, and template management, and also over-the-air updates, which helps to run all the devices in a secure way. An automatic or an event-based monitoring is inside the software, which gives you the opportunity for regular reporting via email, for example, but also an event-based monitoring, which helps to run the system like that you can relax in your chair, and the system will send you information only if there is a need to send that. And the next point is we have to be open. So more and more customers came to us and say, yeah, we need the data and so on. So we have the REST API for third-party application and different customizations, which helps you, and also many different export functionalities, old-fashioned, CSV, XML, Comtrade, and in one of the next versions also PQ-DIF. Yeah. In case of security, the software is equipped with user rights management with role-based access control, such a long word, which offers you a flexible access control with rights for the customer and or for your team. The whole communication to the server is fully encrypted with the latest encryption system. You can integrate also in the meanwhile or in one of the next version an LDAP server, and it is fully transparent. So every setting a user is doing is monitored, and this is one thing which is coming from all over the world right now, who have changed and parameter, who have changed and firmware, who have changed, who have added this device, who is in who have entered the password 3 times wrong, and all these questions have to be answered over our software. So we call this software not only power quality monitoring software, no, it is a software with added values. How does it work? First of all, I have to explain a little bit that the software solution is an on-premise installable version. You have seen here that we have a cloud here over web, but this has nothing to do that we provide the service. After this web meeting, we will send you an invitation for these slides and or a link for these slides combined with a short question according to software as a service, which we maybe will offer you in future depending on the interest on your side. This have different different decisions have to be done, therefore, and we want to see if there is a growing market also for us and also for you, due to the fact that it will reduce at the end time and also cost on all sides. How it is right now? Right now, the software solution is running on a locally installed WebPQ server. It is normally a Windows machine, virtual machine in your OT network, OT IT network, or also in your IT network. And we are continuously communicating to our devices, and this WebPQ server will then insert the data into the database and will make a data processing, which is then an opportunity to save time and also storage, which is then ending into an alarm management. So cyclically or reporting in case of faults via email is possible. We are at the moment delivering PostgreSQL as the database, but if you are interested into the technical functionalities, the technical system requirements, please ask our worldwide partners. This is also guilty for questions which you have right now. Just write it into the chat and we will answer all these questions combined with our worldwide partner network therefore. Yeah, the clients, and this is the good thing here, if they have access to the WebPQ server over HTTPS, they can also, you can also run then as many clients as you want. The whole license is user-based, but this is at the end of the slide, the license model of this software I will explain later. Also, data import and export functionality is provided via the clients as well as automatic via the WebPQ server. Yeah, now a little bit of just a short story. We are often asked how many data sets will be stored in an PQ meter. I can answer, and this is this is unbelievable sometimes. One PQ meter can store 800 until 6,000 measures. So different measurement points, different voltage levels, flicker values, THD, harmonics, and so on, angle of harmonics. And this data is normally stored on the device, and the database is reading out these automatically, cyclically, during the whole time. Nice to know is that the devices here will store the data over approximately 1.5 years. So there is no need to install the communication directly, which means you can this is a flexible mechanism for the installation process. So you can add maybe as many devices as you want. Later you can install the server maybe 6 months later, and then the software will collect all the historical data without any gaps from the meters, from the power quality meters in standard parameterization. This means such values, such flicker or harmonic values, current, power, and so on, is stored locally. And we are often asked who can handle all these data sets? And this is a good question in our point of view. If you have a system where you have to where you have to connect to the device itself, and you are looking at every parameter like voltage, like THD, like all the harmonics, this is impossible to have an overview. So our software solution is more and drill-in reporting technology combined with the event-based monitoring, and this saves time. It is stripped to essentials, but it can give you deep to the core, which means all the data is behind a good overview. So coming to the point, if you open the software at the first stage, you are getting at grid overview, an overview of your whole grid. And I will show this right now live after this slide, that you can feel that a little bit better. So in this overview, every line, every device have one line here, and you can sum up everything into red and green. Which means here in this example, we have 15 devices in high voltage, and the hierarchy is set between high and low voltage. In the high voltage, there is one device or more devices where the PLT or where the frequency is over the threshold. And if you are interested in, you can directly click, and then the software will open an analysis where you can see from this very abstract mechanism coming to the point into a mechanism where you directly see the voltage level or the PLT together with the threshold level, which is installed at, which is transported to the, which is parameterized at the device. And so it gives you the opportunity to run up a system with 300-400 devices or 1,000 devices, and you see with short clicks what is happening into grid. Our experience is also, and this is, I think, a generic experience, that a lot of customers says, we don't have any power quality issues. There is no issue in our grid. But the point is mostly some customer, not all, are a little bit blind there on these eyes because there is no measurement technology installed, and then you cannot see what is happening directly there, especially in the depth of the grid. And in the depth of the grid, yeah, we have the lowest impedancy and the highest influences of the current due to the fact of the lowest short circuit power. And it's clear also in the low voltage grid we have in the meanwhile the most changes due to the fact of CO2 and renewables. So it is very interesting to have installed measurement technologies also in the low voltage grid combined with the solution at the interfaces to the high voltage grids. Yeah, I will show you right now live in my browser. So I'm now connected to our to a server from us. Here we have installed 15 in the low voltage grid, 19 devices in the high voltage grid. And if you combine here everything, so we have here four fault records in sum in low voltage grid, and 19 in high voltage grid, for example, 7 power quality events, and you can open these, and this is meant with drill-in technology like that you can see what has happened, for example, in here with this device. And if you're interested in, you can directly click here, and now the disturbance fault record will open. In the disturbance fault record, which is an analysis type, you can set your own thresholds. You can see if any other device which is connected to this low voltage grid as well have seen the error at the same time, and you can sum up these for example in one bar graph. Here it is not the same time, you can see, and so it gives you the opportunity to find the error and the issue in a really easy way. You can add here informations like comments, whatever. You can set markers here, what you know from all our systems before, and for new customers, what is known to you in a general way. So setting marker, for example, is an opportunity for measurement. You can see the extremas. You can display the standard thresholds, or, and this is a nice to know thing also over our new technology, which is called custom thresholds, which I came later to. And this helps for the event-based monitoring. Yeah. What analyzing and measurement functions? How is the structure of the software? Due to the fact that one customer says, I want to have all the energy data in one report. Next one is saying having different other requirements. I want to have always the flicker combined with the U min and U max, also the voltage min and the voltage maximum value. We have thought a little bit, and we think the solution is to have a structure which gives you as the customer the opportunity to customize your reporting. So you can add different dashboards into the software, where you can add then different analysis types, and these analysis types can be from different devices with different values. So this gives you a lot of flexibility. We have over 25 different individual analysis types, and these analysis types I will show you right now. So we have so the main analysis types, otherwise we are getting in trouble with the time. You can add a reporting overview. So this is an abstract report from our 65 standard templates, like IEC 61000-2-2, IEC 61000-2-4, or also EN 5160. And these analysis types are coming from IEBA, always in the latest versions. But you are able as customer also to add your own analysis types or your own reporting templates, that it is that the software gives you the flexibility for your own threshold settings. We have one of the most used analysis types is the level time diagram for the correlation of measuring devices and measured variables or measured things in relation to time. We have the fault recording diagram. We have the ITIC with also with a fault right through technology. We have histograms, harmonic bar views, live and also live data views in case of time series, vector diagrams, harmonics, supraharmonics, and so on. As an example of these analyses, we have here a tab which I called Bericht, so German point, report. And in this report tab, we have now 4 analysis types. One analysis type is the report, general report. Next one is the harmonics, and the harmonics can be displayed in many different ways, I will show, as well as the explanation of this bar graph, where you can see here the threshold level. Here you can see, for example, the voltage harmonics, and you can see here that here the voltage harmonics are quite next to the threshold setting. I will show you live right now then. And also here we have this drill-in functionality, which then ends up into the level time diagram. So always from the abstract view, from a sum of values into the depth. And this is one of the most liked functionalities in this software, because it saves so many time and gives you an overview in a very short way. Okay, I will show you. So if I'm clicking, for example, here one device, I will click here this device TTV0. This is an internal designation from us. No, sorry. This one is the right one. In case of demo, sometimes we have no data in the background, but also this can be handled by the system. So I have clicked right now into one device, and now I can see the reporting summary of this device, so which is separate into frequency, voltage unbalanced, long-term flicker, THD, and voltage harmonics, according to EN 5160 HV, so high voltage. If I click here right now, the Analyze cockpit is opened again, and now I can see that the same graphic, clear, but the difference is right now I can click maybe on these voltage harmonic bar graph. Now I come from all the harmonics, which are here 40 harmonics according to EN 5160. You can see right now the threshold limits, and you can see also the harmonic which is quite next to the threshold level. The display of these of these bar graph you can set up with thresholds, you can or without thresholds. You can also switch to just the voltage level, because sometimes the higher harmonics have lower values in case of thresholds, and so it gives you many opportunities to find out reasons why something happened. You can also switch between voltage and current, because always the voltage is explaining the current is explaining over the net impedance the voltage harmonic, and therefore we provide you the opportunity to switch between both functionalities, between voltage and current, as well as you can change also the reporting template. So for example, if the device is coming with the device is installed and have a device template and reporting template according to EN 5160. You can later change also the reporting settings via our template manager. And so, for example, we can also switch here. It makes no sense in this case to EN 5160 IEC 61000-2-2 medium voltage, and just apply this new template to the already recorded data. And this gives you many opportunities also in case of standardization changes, which are occurring a lot of times, which is mostly not known by many customers, but it is like that many standards are renewed every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and this we can now fulfill in a very easy and quick way. If you are interested not into the time, into the abstract view, you can directly jump right now into the values, and also you can combine right now by setting up maybe a second device which has data in the same time. For example, just add these, apply this, and now we have both devices in one diagram. You can also switch then the diagram a little bit and so on. But the main functionality of this software right now is you can save your work, and this will save time afterwards. So just click here, save in, and now you can add a new tab, which is called maybe WebPQ seminar. Create new tab and save, and now this tab is saved to all over the time. And every time you click here this link, and this link is fixed, you can also send it to a colleague. You can discuss with this link with your colleague. And also you can set up here your customized solution, which means you are able to change the time here in that way that the time is always calculated, which means you are able that you say, okay, I want to see always the last week until now if I'm surfing these tab. And this gives you the opportunity of a completely free configurable dashboard or analysis functionality. It will save time, and also I think it's in good way that all the requirements from your side can now be fulfilled. And this is the main point why we have decided to be such flexible into the analysis functionality. Okay. Yeah, level time diagram, I explained free choice of time, device, and measured variables, comparison of different measurement points. You can export it such views in CSV, PNG, JPEG, PDF, Comtrade, PicoDiff. You can set up markers and you can set up also free adjustable scaling like you want to have. The fault recording diagram is, yeah, for sure, it is nothing more than a level time diagram. But the point here is that we are really proud that we could deliver you a solution which is browser based and runs up the data also with these high sampling rates. So for example, the Comtrades have 40 kilohertz, like can be seen here, and this works really, really fast in the visualization. We are making the same like inside our database systems to provide you the solution, which is also running then on different Android systems and so on. Like that we are running an FFT behind inside the database. So it is a technology which is known to us, but the new thing is that the new technology like a browser needs to have these functionality also from database systems. Yeah, and quite nice point is inside the software, the FRT curves. You know, maybe that we are, especially in Germany, we are completely stopping with nuclear power plants. We are sorting out our coal power plants and so on. And this ends up in the European Union into some interesting points that the European Union says, yeah, all suppliers, all installed suppliers must run the so-called fault right-through curves. I also know this from India, that there are also FRT curves which renewables must run. And you can set up your curves from your country or by your grid codes inside the software completely freely in our reporting PQ standard templates functionality. I will show you live right now. So here inside reporting, we have the PQ standard templates. So we deliver over 65 with it. And there are different types. So for voltage harmonics, for example, but also for FRT curves. And if I'm surfing such VDE Anschlussrichtlinie for the German or European grid, for example, or also for India, we have added these FRT curve, but you are also able to change that and to save these according your requirement. How is this then used? It is used then as an analysis type. So if I'm clicking here right now a new analysis and I'm surfing here to fault right through, I can add different devices. I can add here different all power quality events according to this grid curve, for example. And now all the power quality events which happens in that time, for example, from here from 1st of May until right now, are directly put into this point. And now you can see here that we have different values here in case of depth and in case of time, so how long a disturbance was. And if I'm surfing right now, if I'm clicking here on these, you can see right now the depth, the reaction of the device, of the renewable supplier. Is the renewable supplier maybe putting reactive power for supporting the grid? And this is the main request from fault right through technology, that all the renewables have to stabilize the grid during the delivery of reactive power. And therefore, all our PQ meters like PQI-DA Smart and PQI-DE are from the standard template recording the power as well as the reactive power, as well as the current and the voltage. That you are able, or the certificator is able, to see if a renewable energy power plant is reacting in that way he has to react. Yes, harmonic, supraharmonic view. Clear. I have shown to you these drill in. It's a bar chart which is able to be steered from your side. Threshold limits you can display relative to threshold, you can change. I have shown to you. The histogram view, very interesting. I know some customers from South Africa are also taking part today. And here is the South Africa histogram of frequency. Due to our partner, which we have there, we get these frequency histogram from this measurement device installed in the grid. And this display shows you directly clear. We have in the middle these 50 Hertz, but at the end we are not in that way that in other grids stable in case of frequency, which is normal, but gives you a flexible way to see how the Verteilung, how the values are in case of time. Live data view, I think, a really great functionality. I want to show that also in a live view. So we have the functionality here. If I'm clicking, if I'm coming maybe here from the device, I am searching one device which is called TTV, which is this one, I think. No, this one is available. And I'm surfing right now to the live data view. You can see here the live data values coming from the device directly. And if you want to combine, for example, 2, 3, 4 devices in one diagram, you can do that by your own. So for example, if you have installed 2 devices, 3 devices, 4 devices, or maybe 10 devices, you can just click here on this button. Then you can see the values from this device, but now it is able, you are able to add a second device or also a third device. I'm not sure if they are reachable right now, but you can see it will work here right now. And now, very interesting, you can store these live data view, live view into a new tab, and you can see also the result right now, and you can surf again maybe to analysis and change the analysis type from live values maybe to live time series, apply these setting, and then the display is a little bit different. So right now we can see over 10 minutes the live data coming from the devices. So if I will switch off or switch on the voltage on one device, you will directly see the reaction. And this helps you to identify also errors in your grid. So if you say, okay, I have an issue with harmonics in case of industry sector, for example, you can serve live harmonics, for example, or live superharmonics. Live harmonics ends up into this diagram in a bar graph diagram. And inside this bar graph diagram, you can see right now all the harmonics. And if something changes, the bar will change its value. And if you are interested more into the one harmonic, just click and you are inside the real time data of this harmonic, of this voltage harmonic, combined with the current harmonic and the power, because we think always it makes sense to have the voltage harmonic also in combination of power as well as the current, because this helps you to identify the issue in a really fast way. So live data view, I think some examples I have shown to you. The next point which I want to explain a little bit more is how flexible we are in case of reporting functionality and also fleet management things. Generally, each device can be tagged, and we have different tags inside the system. And tag is for example the voltage type, so voltage level, or and tag can be that it is a PV power plant or that it is a wind power plant, and you can add these tag to the device, and this helps you to in each view of the software to identify the device in a really speedy way, as well as it gives you the opportunity in case of fleet management, fleet job management, for example, also that here seen inside this example, we have changed here the hierarchy view into the firmware version. You can see here that we have 1, 2, 3 different firmware versions. And if you say, for example, okay, I want to upgrade all devices with firmware 3.2.2, you just select these checkbox and create a fleet management job over these devices. And this saves time and at the end then money, and gives you a better feeling and gives you the opportunity to run the system in a much more stable way, in my opinion, or in our opinion. Coming to the event-based monitoring, my boss said I would like to receive a report only when the THDU of 300 transformers exceeds 5%. Delivered as PDF via email, always include the last 24 hours of data prior to the event. Show power with THDI values in combination with THDU. Include a bar graph formatted according to the latest standard. Normally, and also in our last software solution, the engineers said then, okay, this is impossible. In the meanwhile, I can say for sure, WebPQ can do this for you. And this is the good point here. Very simple in my point of view, with 3 different steps. So you have now to set up a global threshold setting. This global threshold setting must be set inside our threshold settings, centralized, with 7%. Min max with hysteresis is possible. And we combine this global threshold with the devices. Then we create a dashboard in time values, so a bar graph diagram of all the harmonics combined with a level time diagram of THDU with THDI. And then later we create a task where we bind the global threshold settings on with the dashboard. And every time the global threshold setting is reached, you will get an PDF with the result over the last day. And I think this is done 5 minutes. You need time for that. And this gives you then the opportunity to fulfill much more requirements which we have daily on your desk, in our opinion, and which we also know from our customers. Also, the WebPQ gives you the opportunity in case of parameterization of the devices in fleet management, as well as in a chronicle way of the parameters. So always you are getting in contact with the devices. You can insert the parameters into the database, you can change something and then send these parameterizations to the devices back. Everything is logged. You can see here, uploaded to the device on this time by user einer für alle. And this chronicle thing gives you the opportunity to see, okay, my colleague have changed a parameter in that way. Often we are asked, and now in the meanwhile, according to the latest security regulation, it is a must-have functionality, these audit things, and we now can fulfill these things. We can explain that deeper, clear, but not today. I think this can be done via our partners, or if you have questions regarding this, please send us a mail, send us the question in the chat, we will answer. Also, we have a service menu here. You can make firmware upgrades, you can trigger all devices via software, download from all devices of log files, of audit log files, but and also and console steering of the devices via the Lua interface of the devices, which helps you and also us in case of services. Fleet management, what is possible with it, it gives you process security, which ensures then stable, reliable, and compliant workflows. And this is more a business workflow than a technical workflow. So in firmware upgrade, in the meanwhile, you must say, okay, your boss said all the firmware have to be patched every time. And these ends up into an workflow which can be run with WebPQ Enterprise or via an add-on with the fleet management shop. You can see here we have two different fleet management job. One was a firmware update, one was a parameter update, and you can see the if it is completed, if something failed, and so on. And so it gives you process security in case of have it worked, doesn't have it worked, who has done that, and so on. Users and rights. Not every user can do a fleet management job. That's clear, should be clear. Therefore, we have user groups. We have you can use our user groups or the user groups which we are deliver with the software. We have an administrative user group which can run firmware upgrades. We have also an operator, and also we have the user which only can see devices. And these user groups binds always the users, devices combined with rights. And this is the so-called user rights management system, which the software have, and also helps you in the in the workflow of your system. Sometimes it's hard. We have customers. In the meanwhile, we sold out, and I'm very proud of that. More than 100 licenses in the meanwhile of the software solution. And a lot of customers said, we great software, but we need to have centralized user management via LDAP. With the next version, we can deliver these thing with version 2.1. So with the lightweight directly access protocol, you can use your IT department for the user identification or user authentication. Therefore, it's a technical thing, but it is a nice to have thing. But because at the end, it will save time and then also money. The audit logging, sorry, there's a typo inside. In the audit logging, only the administrator can see who was changing something, who have set up the password wrong, and so on. And everything is logged for your audition regarding your requirements. Coming to the license, until end of 2024, we delivered WinPQ, and since 2022, we delivered also WebPQ Visualizer to some of the customers. With the end of these of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, since then we deliver the WebPQ new license, where always the WinPQ is with the license, but we differ between WebPQ Basic, Professional, and Enterprise. What is the difference between these different versions? The main difference is in WebPQ Basic, you can run up a maximum number of units until 33 pieces. WebPQ Professional is running up to 103 pieces, and from 101 pieces, you need to have the WebPQ Enterprise. But also we differ not only about the maximum number of the units, we are also differ in the functionalities. So for example, the fleet management as is in WebPQ Basic, not possible in WebPQ Professional. It is an add-on. In WebPQ Enterprise, it is included. It is clear we have to have the opportunity for small customers to deliver here a very price-sensitive software, but also for bigger utilities with many devices, and functionality like fleet management will save time and money like you have not seen that before if you run these functionality, and therefore the implementation needs a lot of time, and we think it's a fair thing that it is only included in WebPQ Enterprise. So this is the difference between the general functionalities, also in case of import interfaces and REST API, and also LDAP system. We differ here in the functionality. Yes, so there is a base license always with 3 number of units. What is a unit? A unit is or can be a device or also a user, so we do not differ between. And if you want to extend these things, you can do that by adding some add-ons, and also you can have add-ons in case of functionality, like for example the fleet management functionality or some special export functionalities if you want to have that. And general thing in the meanwhile is that we are also making annual maintenance contracts or agreements, which continuously are maintained. So we are then sending all the updates to you and so on. So if you have questions regarding this, please write me an email or also write it into the chat afterwards. We will answer this question. Okay. Now I was gone through many functionalities of the software, but not all the functionalities of the software. I hope I could show you that in the meanwhile, a software in case of power quality is more than just an analysis software. It is more an software which gives you also workflows for different business workflows you have in your company. And I think this is a good way for the future. It would be very nice if you have remarks and so on, which runs me personally. Just contact me. Let's stay in touch, and please keep healthy. Here today, it's a little bit rainy. I hope on the other side of the world it's sunny. So best wishes from Germany, and thank you very much to all of you. Bye bye.